to the Rocket Chick Learning Hour. Today's episode will be on the Enlightenment. Now, when one thinks of the Enlightenment, they think of an idea of expanding, social, economical hierarchies and things of that nature. Philosophical, science, things like that, to expand in your knowledge compartment. What I'm going to be talking about is the type of art style that was going on during this period, more around the 18th century in America and Europe. Now, before the Enlightenment, there was Rococo, which was in Germany and France and other parts of Europe. But there were other things and other types of ways that people had of thinking. The Enlightenment was an essence of a new way of thinking critically about the world, humankind, independence of religion, mythology, or even traditions of what they usually would go through. Enlightenment thinkers would provoke scientific questions, some of the ones of like the world is flat or the sun revolves around the earth, but actually it's the earth that revolves around the sun itself. Thus the Enlightenment encouraged and stimulated men and women and children alike to more scientific methods than just believing in the church itself. We have many artists that were very, very engaged, Newton and Locke. Also, we have philosophies in France, Montessori, Joseph, and the Rights of Derby, the philosopher giving a lecture, which I have a picture of right here. See that we have the scribe over here on this side, the man, children and women being engaged in the learning and the activity of what is going on, which was not very present at the time, seeing that women and children had a backseat to almost all men activities. And there you go for a closer look right there, if you can see that even better. Sorry about the quality. The printer was only doing black and white. I'm terribly sorry for that one. Right there. Wright, Joseph Wright of Derby, celebrated the invention, which was down the Industrial Revolution beginning. It dramatically changed a lot of things. It helped human understanding of the world and material forces, research in phenomenons like electricity and combustion, discovery of hydrogen power, the steamboat and other steam-like inventions. It gave progress to the English and the American people. It made our economy better, and it helped the revolution continue on farther than it needed to. Well, not that it needed to, just improved its quality, making it much, much easier. Also, stuff during the Enlightenment was some types of naturalism, showing the people in a regular type of field-like work, just women at the table maybe saying grace, something as simple as that. Or just Jean-Baptiste Greuze in The Village Bride, as she shows just the common people as they are more closer to earth, and how they were blessed because of it, and how they would come together. Now, the rich people had nothing to do with this, and they really didn't want anything to do with this. But that was the art style at the time, and people felt that this is what needed to be shown. There was also all sorts of humoristic tones and motions, maybe a little too dark for people. William Hogarth's The Breakfast Scene, that was English dark humor, showing the men doing adultery, women with gambling habits, house and debt. This is what they thought was stimulating to their minds, and they agreed with it. We have another one by Sir Joshua Renfield, which we call Lord Heathfield. I have a photo of that one right there. See how the regal pose and the dark shadows in the back. The key from which he liberated the city from, right there. Showing that he's done a wonderful job in the war. Don't remember the name of the war, but you can research it on Google or any other type of search engine you prefer. Again, sorry about the color, printer. This was very portrayed, typical large man, urbanist. It stands in a very dramatic type pose to give you that feeling that he accomplished something that most people really couldn't do. Then we have something by Benjamin West, who painted the death of General Wolfe. It, very good compositions, blends, very good type of brush strokes and other things of flowing nature. I have a picture of that one there also. Right here, if you mind to check it out, so you can see this has a lot of hidden things, like the church in the background, all the way back here. Okay, you have during the Battle of Abraham, not the during the 7-Year War. You have him dying in the Jesus pose. Very, very religious thing right there. Piece that most people would kind of agree that it's called the Jesus pose. Even America went through the Enlightenment. Types of different type of paintings, seeing in brushstrokes and how they would paint metal, seeing that they would get more structural and allowing things to come. In our society, the Enlightenment played into the Grand Tour. People going to Italy and other parts of France, Germany, and collecting little trinkets to show off what they have done. Kind of an expansion of their knowledge, per se. Say in ancient Rome or Greece, they would travel to these countries to increase literature, architect, theater, knowledge, customs. It was also a way to show off to your other rich comrades or neighbors, saying, I went here to Venice and look what I have, a type of base or boss. It was something you would do to be less ignorant of the world. These pilgrimage from the Aristotle politicians, other diplomats. Um, it was a true revival of the classicism and the popularity of the neoclassicism art that actually helped the Enlightenment expand the knowledge that these people wanted to know and to love. I have a picture of the Berabedin Shishiro at Venice right here. See that? It's lovely. Little nice channel and beautiful building. The people walking around on the port side, doing everything they can to get what they want and show off their neighbors. I thought that was quite beautiful. Other than that, the rooms, dictations, Victorian type art style. These people would, from the Grand Tour, they would take what they learned and put it into the new home, and that would become the new type of lifestyle. And this happened between the 1700s and 1800s. They made sure that they knew what was going on. You didn't want to be left behind during this time. It was just not there. So by the 18th century, the revolutions had thrown over the monarchy in France and achieved independence for the British colonies in America. This was a major factor in the Enlightenment, so it was a new way of thinking critically about the world independently of religion and tradition. The Enlightenment promoted scientific questioning of all assertions and embraced of doctrine and progress, of the first modern encyclopedia during the 18th century. The Industrial Revolution also helped with this, with the type of new building materials, iron, because iron was fairly new, everything was more marble, brick, and wood. To construct bridges, say in England. The Enlightenment also helped knowledge of the ancient Rome and its type of structure for Americans and Europeans. Like I said, the Grand Tour of Italy and other such of the Mediterranean, among proper souvenirs. They thought this was great. Rejecting the ideas, of like the old ways, and try to go more to a futuristic tone where everyone can learn and understand. This was Matthew James Wilcox talking about the Enlightenment. I hope you enjoyed it. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at RocketChickArt1, or you can follow me on Facebook. Check out my blog, RocketChickArt14. So for all the viewers out there, have a wonderful day and good night or good morning.